I think any car is a road trip car if you're brave enough. So I have like 10 cars, and the smart car was just one of the ones where it's like, I've always wanted to own it. I love Mercedes, so it's like, I know they're not fully involved in it, but they're somewhat there. So I was like, okay, that seems like a good gas saver. Let's add that to the fleet, and I found a really good priced one. And it needed a little bit of work, so I was able to do the work to it and get it up and running, ready to go, and was like, well, it seems like a good car to drive on cross country. I started by just doing all sorts of car customization on my own side. I was like, well, I'm into cars. I want to save some money. Don't want to go to shops and spend a bunch of money. So I started learning how to do certain things, and it got me to the point I am right now, where it's like I can do my own customization and do all sorts of wraps, powder coating, and I just made that a business. As far as the smart car, it came about with just, I wanted to buy one. My friend was like, hey, I work at a shop. We have one. They want $1,000. So my nature, I lowballed them at 700. They were like, okay, let's do that. So got the car with no key. I had to get a key made. Once I got the key made, went ahead and started the car, and it actually ran good. They stated that the transmission was bad, so it came with the spare transmission in the passenger seat, which was a good thing to have because I pulled one of the pieces from that, which was the shift actuator. These cars are, I don't know if you know, but they're manual transmissions that are automated with an electric shifter of some sorts. And so that thing was bad, so I replaced that, and the car drove perfectly fine. And to this day, I really haven't done anything other than swap the two front tires because they were bald, and I've gotten this far. The idea for Little Tykes was just based off of me as a kid having a Little Tykes. It seems like everybody's first car is the Little Tyke. It's just so iconic, it's simple, it's easy to remember, hey, that's the Little Tykes car. I didn't do much to the interior, I just made it somewhat easy to get to all my stuff. I have stuff in the back, I have stuff in the front, but I made it easy to where I could just travel by myself and get across country without an issue. Out of the blue, I decided to drive my Little Tykes Smart car from LA to Florida, and then I added some states, and I'm actually not even close to being done yet, so I still have to get back home. I've gotten responses, all different types of responses. I actually threw my Venmo on the back when I was coming down here just to see how much money I'd be able to recuperate on this trip. And just from LA to Florida, I got about $65. So it's about 3 tanks of gas, and well, on this side of town, it's about 3 tanks of gas, yeah. Other than that, I've had many people just stopping and like, oh my God, what is this? Why do you do this? Why are you doing this? All that type of stories. And then just in general, everybody's taking pictures. There's people that ask for pictures. There's people that just take pictures. I have the windows pretty well tinted, so whenever I just about park up in any parking spot or anything, I start to kind of get videos of people watching, and it's pretty cool to see how many people actually get excited over it. I did videos showing how it went from red, just full red and black, because they come in double colored. So I went ahead and added the yellow, and that did really well for me social media wise. I've gotten a couple videos that just blew up. I think overall in the social media light, there's a lot of supercars, hypercars, and I don't think everything's about that. I think since this is something that connects people to their childhood, I mean, like I said before, most people have a Little Tykes or had one before. So I think it's very good that I'm able to show that off and get people to actually be like, wow, there's cooler cars that aren't $2 million, $3 million, or whatever. Cross country is such a cool trip to do because you do get to experience everything that is the United States. You get to go through rural areas and some urban areas depending on where you're driving through. And I took the 10 down, and so the 10 has a lot of sections where there's just nothing. There's just nothing for miles and miles, and it's cool being able to see like the farmers, or even in the middle of the desert, people like are walking around like in their houses and stuff, seeing the car and being like, what the heck is this? Like, I can't believe that there's this thing driving down my freeway right by my house. So coming from LA, there's a lot of people that they see it, they take a picture, but they don't acknowledge it that much. And I've noticed that towards the middle of the country, it seems like a lot more excitement comes from people seeing stuff like that, stuff they don't normally see every day. I had lots of friends tell me that this car isn't going to make it cross country. You're going to be stranded in the middle of Texas or something like that. And I did get close. I'm not going to lie, because of the fuel economy on that car. It's great, but it's a small tank. So you don't realize that the gas tank is about 10 gallons. So it's very difficult to get from, I guess, in the middle of Texas, for example, there's a big stretch where you don't have many gas stations. On one of those stretches, I got really, really close to running out of gas. I think I was running on E for about 5 or 6 miles before I turned off into the gas station and was able to get gas. So the dash shows 100. I've been GPS tracking it. It seems to be going, whenever I do 95, it says I'm going 90. So it's about 5 miles an hour off, but I have yet to hit 100 in it. It does not like letting me hit that. I came somewhat prepared. I got a couple tools, a jack, a tire, a wheel and tire, and I think that that's enough for me to get the rest of my trip done. I'm doing a full round trip, so final destination is basically back home if I ever make it back home. But for now, I'm going to do Atlanta to Boston, stop at a couple different places up there, and then I'm going to go Tail of the Dragon, Tennessee, and then drop back down to Houston for a couple of days and finally get back home. I haven't done the math with what I added, but as of right now, I'm at 4,100 miles so far, so I'm halfway there to making it a full 10,000 mile trip. So let's see if I can make it 10,000 miles. I'm hoping to be back home in about another week and a half, so I got a couple more days of just full-on driving and then a couple days of relaxing, so we'll see if it goes well. I think that my dates should be good for me to get back home on time. I think social media is a great friend to have in this sense because I didn't set a budget beforehand. I didn't set anything. The only thing that I had set was once I got to Florida, I told myself I'm not paying any money for a hotel. I'm not spending any money on an Airbnb or anywhere to stay. So it's either stay with a friend or I stay in the car. And so I've had a couple nights where I've slept in the car and honestly, it wasn't too bad. I'm small, so it's pretty spacious in there. But even then, if I had a little more space to recline the seat, I think that it would be a pretty comfortable road trip car to sleep in a couple times. I think the perfect road trip consists of having a little bit more planning based off of where you're going and then potentially staying a couple more days in certain places. So I'd say a cross-country trip like this, I'd say do it in about 45 days to 50 days with being able to take in relax time and drive time. I think the max that anybody really should drive on a solo trip should be maybe 6-7 hours, around that range. I think once you get over that, you get extremely tired and then you don't get to enjoy the place you went to and parked at or stopped at. And any less than that, you don't get as far across the country. I think you go 4 hours and then you stop, you lose a lot of time mentally in like the sense of, okay, well, I'll leave in 20 minutes. I'll leave in 30 minutes. And that takes a lot longer time. I think any car's a road trip car if you're brave enough. To be honest, the smart car, not the greatest, but if you have a set of balls, I think you can make it happen. There's things with this car that aren't perfect. The alignment wasn't perfect to begin with. The vibrations were okay up to like 75, 80-ish. I got an alignment in Florida and it ended up making it worse. I rebalanced the wheels, I did an alignment, and now the car bounces around at like 65 and up. And so it's a fun experience. It's not for everybody because having to hold the steering wheel at those speeds isn't fun when it's like this the whole time. I think I did want to change the livery. I'm a big Taco Bell fan, so I want to maybe do like a Taco Bell livery, but I think the Little Tykes should stay for a little while. A lot of people have it now. It seems to be a little bit more common on the smart cars, but I think if I switch it up to do something else, it could be cool.
This month of VINwiki content is brought to you by Bridgestone, and the most exciting news out of Bridgestone is the new release of their Turanza Prestige tire. It is their flagship Grand Touring tire, targeting luxury SUVs, crossovers, and sedans, like a Mercedes S-Class or a BMW X7. And this gives you all the whisper quiet ride that you want in a high-end luxury experience, as well as the wet and dry weather performance that we love from Bridgestone. And you'll get some of the greatest longevity they've ever had on street tires, 70,000 mile limited warranty. So we love Bridgestone for their sports car and supercar tires in the Potenza range. Of course, the Dueler AT Ascent that I've got on my Porsche Cayenne, I absolutely love. But whatever you're looking to find tires for, Bridgestone has something great. So check them out now at the link in the description below to learn more about the Bridgestone family of tires.